Hey everyone, welcome back to Dunrovin Ranch in lovely Lolo, Montana. I am your very own personal, erstwhile, long-suffering, your personal ranch manager, Kelli. And you know who this is. Say, yeah. Suzanne Miller.
Yeah.
The owner of the circus, the ringmaster, and her supply of whips is back there to get
things going.
To keep me
Actually,
moving.
I'm out here in a completely tidy tack room because somebody is being anal retentive about everything, and it's fabulous. You've done a great job.
Thank you.
You've really upgraded everything.
Thank you. And well, I feel that when guests come, that they'll feel important.
Yes,
I mean, there's a place for their things and everything. Yes. You know, it's.
Yeah.
Let's see how long it lasts.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, during the heat of the summer, things get out of whack a little bit, but you have to start off right for sure.
You have to start off right. So I think we're good.
It looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I like your decor.
Goodwill.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, it's terrific.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So today on At the Corral, we're going, as promised, we're going to go through our guide bag.
Yeah.
Suzanne, what's a guide bag?
Well, it's the bag that the guide uses to meet any emergency on the trail, which means medical emergency, emergency with tack, trees falling down, whatever it is. And let me tell you, when you get into the backcountry, you never know what's around the corner.
Never.
You have to be prepared. And the guide is the person who's responsible for all of that, for the riders and the horses.
Yes.
And the dogs. Oftentimes we bring dogs, and some people say you shouldn't ride with dogs, but the truth of the matter is if the dog is well trained, they're an incredible asset on the trail.
Are.
And I can tell a couple stories if you don't mind.
No.
Okay.
What a surprise. I'm teasing.
Yeah, I know. What you do is you put bells on the dogs because they have a tendency to go off trail. And the horses can hear the bells, and they know that the rustling in the bushes is their dogs,
as opposed to a predator.
As opposed to a predator. And so I have two stories that revolve around other critters. And one of them was I had my former trail dog Jake was going around the corner, and I was guiding on Lady Lanza, and we were kind of cantering around a corner, and in the middle of a trail is a skunk.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez was right. Oh. The dog got it. I got it full on, and it got all the way down to about the third horse behind me.
Oh, no. What did the horses do?
Oh, they didn't mind at all.
Really?
The horses did not mind at all, but
geez.
the people minded.
But, you know, we don't have tomato juice with us.
That's the one thing we don't have.
Right.
But getting everybody in the truck afterwards was really fun. Yeah, it was funny. But if the dog had not been there, I don't know where the skunk would have ended up in the trail.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's the whole purpose of having the dog out front, is they chase away the grouse. Grouse are famous for waiting in the grass until you come by, and then they flutter.
And it scares the horses nearly to death.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a startle. And so that's dangerous. And then my other story, of course, is the one with Cola killing the rabbit. You know?
I don't remember that one, or I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, well, a couple years ago, I was teaching one of our new trail guides the trail, and so I had her out front, and Cola and Jewel were with me with their bells on, and here comes a rabbit, and here comes Cola, and here comes Jewel, and Cola kills the rabbit under the second or third horse.
Oh.
No, with guests on.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was something. But I told the guests, I said, well, I got him so he would control prairie dogs, not prairie dogs, but gophers and mice at home, so I can't very well get upset about a rabbit.
No, you can't. That makes a great story.
Yeah, I'm sure they're still telling it.
I know they are. Every Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, dogs are an important part of our safety procedures.
And we don't have one right now who's up to it, but I know that you're thinking about it.
I am thinking about it. It used to be Jewel, of course, and Cola. Believe it or not, that little Cola. Well, you've seen him.
I believe it.
Yeah, he was out front with his little bell on, and he was doing his job.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
And also, you know, if they're out ahead and if they come running back panicked, you know something's out there.
Something's up there.
Bear,
and what's interesting is that the horses rely on them as well.
I bet.
I had a dog, my dog died, and the first time I took my horse out after the dog died, he was looking for him, looking for him, and a lot more tentative. They get accustomed to that.
Yeah,
so it's really an asset. At any rate, so the guide bag has to be able to take care of all of those
needs.
People and horses and dogs. And it's called a hornbag. Now, you can tell us why it's called a hornbag. You may want to demonstrate.
Oh, I'll demonstrate at the end.
Okay.
And then what I just realized is we'll have to use mine as a demonstration.
That's fine.
Because of the big horn. Anyway,
That's fine.
It's called a horn bag because it fits over the horn of the saddle. If this is the saddle horn, it fits right there. It's curved, so the weight is more forward on the horse's shoulders, which
Yes.
is important. And it sits right up there, and if you want, you can Velcro it around the front of the saddle. And it's there. You can reach and grab whatever you need.
You generally carry water bottles as well. And even though these are small, they are loaded to the gills. They are heavy. And you don't want this on the back of a horse. You want it up front on their shoulders where they can carry the weight all day long.
And something I did is I emergency whistle.
Yes.
These are mine, but I put it on the outside. Because I figure if you need that, you don't want to have to look for it. You just want to be able to blow that.
Not only that, but if you're the one injured.
Yes.
And that's one of the things we do when we take people out is we tell them what to do if we are the ones that are injured, and that could happen.
Oh,
Again,
yes.
You're the first one out there, so if you've got a grizzly bear on the trail, you're the
And
one
your
who has to
horse
deal
wears-
with it. Yeah. So your guests have to know what to do to fend for themselves.
Yes. Don't take off running.
Don't take off running and leave the horses and walk out. They shouldn't try to ride out on their own.
No.
So,
no.
No.
Yeah.
So that's just the kind of thing you have to tell people.
Right. So I'm going to start going through. And
Yes, absolutely.
and you talk.
Please do. Yeah. Okay. So this has evolved over years of my riding in the backcountry. And one of my equestrian club members a number of years ago was an emergency ER doctor. He was an ER doctor. And I said, Doug,
how nice.
what do I need to have? And he said, a sanitary napkin, a bandana for a sling if you needed it, or for tying, or for a tourniquet, and duct tape.
That's all you need to rule the world. It's
Rule the
very
world.
true.
Yeah.
You can do anything. I mean,
You can do anything.
and the
You're-
sanitary napkin absorbs
Right.
blood and will pack a
absorb blood
wound and whatnot.
and keep something stable if you had to make a splint.
Right.
And this can do all of that.
It can.
Yeah, and we carry a lot with us. And I'll
You won't
tell you
believe
why.
what's in here.
One of the things I have used duct tape for is to craft a shoe. In the back country, we carry what's called an easy boot, which is this. If you have a shoe that comes off of your horse on the trail and you have a really rocky trail,
You want to protect the bottom of your horse's
right,
foot.
you can put on an easy boot, but I'll tell you, in really difficult circumstances, they don't stay on.
No, some of
They
them
just
have a
don't.
gaiter on the back, which is a big,
Right.
connects it to the horse.
Well, it hangs on it, but they still come off the foot.
Yeah, they do.
And I was in the Pintlers wilderness area, and I lost a horseshoe. I put an easy boot on, and I lost that in the first big mud puddle
Yes.
that we came through.
Well, I have a
So-
whole set. Yeah, I also duct tape this
That's right.
closed. Yeah.
Well, what I did is I just crafted a shoe out of duct tape.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and it lasted
I
the
bet it
whole
does.
trip out. So what you're trying to do is protect the frog of the horse's hoof from getting stone bruises.
Right, and the frog is a
Right.
triangular area on the horse's foot. If this
Yeah.
is the back of the hoof, it's a triangle, which is more like it pumps blood. It's a shock absorber.
Right.
If
Really
that gets
important.
sore, you're in trouble.
Right.
And this is obviously not for a horse. This is
for a
this is
pony.
Clyde's. Okay,
Right.
I'm going to save the best for last.
Okay.
Okay.
And I know what the best is.
I know. Well, yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, first aid.
First aid,
yeah.
in case you don't know.
That's right. You can look up almost anything. It's very handy.
Twine.
And twine. Again.
Anything.
Bailing.
These two
yeah,
things you can
yeah.
do anything in the world with.
Conquer the world with those two.
Hoof
Absolutely.
pick.
Hoof pick. This is again, if you get a stone under the shoe, or if you get something caught in the bottom of the horse's foot, you want to be able to take it out.
Take it out.
Yeah. Normally, we don't routinely pick our horse's feet because I want that nice sand and gravel packed in there so that the frog is always touching the ground.
Protected.
Right.
I'm going to save the best for last. Hold on.
Right.
And
Okay.
we've got the whistle we talked about.
Right.
Now, a lighter.
Yep. I mean, you never know when you're going to be out and have to start a fire. I had an incident. I mean, you out there long enough in the backcountry, you have incidences. And I had an incident where a woman became heat exhausted. and it was later in the afternoon, and I thought we were going to have to camp.
Oh, boy.
Because she was not able to get back on her horse. And I didn't want to pressure her.
Sure.
I said, we have all the time in the world. Nobody's going to be any worse for wear. It's going to be just fine here tonight. I can build us a campfire. And just that alone calmed her down and got her to the point where she could start to cool off.
Oh,
and
that's nice.
everything went well.
And
but you had to be prepared for that.
And with duct tape and baling twine,
Yep.
I made a way to hang this off the saddle or in a tree or anything like that. And I also, because I was going to take my road trip, I have a fire starter kit. If you were really going out, you can't count on this in the rain, for example, but in a pinch.
Yeah. Okay, well.
Leather.
Leather shoelaces, really. That's all you really need. And what the leather is to make repairs on tack, particularly bridles. Anything here that's put together, you can put together with a leather strap.
Enough to get back.
Enough to get back.
And the saddle, too.
And a saddle, too. I have, in fact, created out of baling twine and leather a bridle.
I believe it.
No, you can do that.
I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ace bandage.
Yeah, ace bandage.
For slings, wounds.
Right.
You could probably use it for a bridle.
Right.
You could do anything.
A twisted ankle on a ride or whatever.
Something this is called, vet wrap. It's a self-adhesive bandage which you can use for anything.
Oh, and
it's amazing.
If I were you out at home, I would have this even if you don't have a horse.
Oh, yeah.
This is incredible stuff. I didn't run into it until I had horses, but I have used it on humans every bit as much as I have horses. It really sticks.
Well, if you go to the hospital, if you have a broken arm, they use it for casts.
But it's twice as expensive if you go to the first aid store than go to the vet store.
Vet wrap. Go to the feed store.
The feed store, yeah.
Gauze.
Gauze, yep.
Obvious. And then we've got the medical kit, which is outside. Most of it's outside, so you can grab it off your horse real quick.
And so you have things that you can
antibiotic ointment.
Antibiotic, and you can sanitize things. We've got hand sanitizers.
Betadine.
Betadine can disinfect. We're not allowed to give people any kind of pills or anything, but we can make them available.
And that's what's in here: Advil, Tylenol, tweezers, splinters, constantly.
Something in your eye. You can wash. We have a solution there, some saline solutions.
Yes.
You can wash something out of your eye.
So it's funny. I've guided with you or for you 2 years, and I don't think I've had. I think I had a broken nail on somebody once, which can be painful.
Yeah.
But I don't think, knock on something.
Knock on wood. I have, in all the years I have guided, I've only had one broken bone, and that was a finger.
Oh,
and
wow.
that was a very exciting adventure.
Oh, whose was it? Whose finger?
Well,
guest?
I was the guy, yes, one of the guests. And we were attacked by a group of feral llamas on a very narrow trail. It was an event.
They can be vicious.
It was an event.
I bet it was.
And she would have been fine if she threw herself off her horse.
Oh,
the horse did fine, but she panicked.
Yes.
Right.
People, non-horse people,
right.
It's easy to do.
It's very easy to do. I'm
to panic.
Not blaming her.
No.
But that's what happens.
Because you've got 1,200 pounds on you, and you've never been on a horse before.
Oh, yeah, and it's straight off on one side and straight up on the other side, and you got a llama spitting and kicking at you. It was an exciting adventure.
So her flight instinct kicked in, and she...
It did, that's right, exactly.
Okay, so this is awesome.
Yes, this is a Gerber saw, and this fits right in your horn bag.
Oh, that'll work.
It saws wood incredibly. And when you come on a trail, oftentimes you have a huge log, and you're not going to saw through a huge log with this, but what you can do is trim the branches.
Yes, so you don't get...
You can trim a path that the horses can step over or go under, either way. So it's a matter of trimming around so that you can get by.
Speaking of which, I need to set up the annual trail clearing.
Yes.
To go out.
Every year we need that.
Okay, we're ready?
Yeah. This is my favorite
This
tool.
is her favorite thing on earth.
It is.
I need to put some lubricant in there.
Okay. So I was, when getting ready for this program, I was thinking, how was it that I came to do this? Did somebody tell me this was a good thing to do? And I realized, no, this is sort of my own deal.
Oh, wow.
And the reason it is I used to ride a lot in endurance riding, and I would take my horse over to Blue Mountain.
Which is hundreds of miles of riding, is what endurance riding is.
50 miles at a time. And to get him in shape, I'd go over to Blue Mountain. And one time there was this old trail that was really steep, and I liked to use it because it really was good for conditioning him. And I did not know that there was wire over there. And he got his foot caught in wire on the ground. He was a great horse.
He just stood there and waited for you.
He stopped. But it took me a lot to get him out of that wire. And when I was out there, I thought, oh, I wish I had my wire cutters. My fencing tool.
Yes.
It would be so handy. So then I came back and I tried to put my fencing tool, which normally has long handles. And the reason you have the long handles is you want a lot of purchase. You know, so that you can clip wire.
Pressure. I mean,
pressure, right. And what you do is you put the wire through these holes. And there are several holes for several different thicknesses of wire. And then you push down. And it is easier if you have the longer handles. But it wouldn't fit, so I said to my husband, I want to cut these off so I can take this with me.
And he knew better than to say no.
That's right.
So he did it.
That's right. But then I realized once I got out there what an incredibly handy tool this was. Not just for cutting wire, but it has a pick end. So if you don't have a hoof pick, you can pick with this. You can dig with this. You can use the hammer. Look at the Easy Boot. The Easy Boot has a little clip on the side.
Which is such a pain.
That has to go into the hoof of the horse. So to put your Easy Boot on, you just hammer that right in like that. And there's oftentimes, if you're fixing tack or anything, you need something. You need a little hammer,
and you need to pry.
You need to pry. You can do all of that with this. It's just an incredible tool. Also, because I used to ride cross country in endurance, I would come up against fence lines that were in these huge, big grazing allotments. And finding a gate was impossible.
Yes.
So I started carrying extra wire with me, and I would cut the fence and then repair it right there on the side.
And it's made for pulling wire.
Pulling wire.
Amazing.
I could put the wire back together. Nobody even knew it had been cut.
My favorite part about all this is how many women do you know who know the brilliance of a fencing tool?
Well,
I think that's really really cool.
Well, I think it's really cool that this was not made for horse people, but boy, I'll tell you, it's the thing. It's the tool.
You can buy things that say, oh, this is the perfect horse tool for this. I mean, people will try to sell you anything, but
this does it.
Yeah. Now I'm going to run over here, Suzanne. Excuse me, and grab one more thing.
Oh yeah.
And I'll show you how, when we step outside to put all this on my horse, we'll show you how this attaches. So this is obviously a saw.
Right. And I have sawed through huge pieces of...
Still very sharp. That's good.
Yes. You have to keep them sharp. And if you know how to saw, that's the other thing. You really have to know how to saw a log to be effective at it. And what you do is you come at an angle, because otherwise your saw will get hung up and you won't be able to get all the way through.
And you also have to look at what you're sawing, because if it's being held down by something else and you make a slice, it's going to go flying in the other. There's a whole science to this.
Exactly. And you want to saw where it is the smallest diameter, where it will do the best job of getting your horses through. Yeah. So
you don't need to go. You're not going to cut through a tree.
Just get your horses across.
Okay. Well, should we go put this on?
I got one more story.
Okay. Yes.
All right. I have to brag about my former horse, Power.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Power was
a lot of people know Power.
Yeah. He was. I don't think he was here when we had the cameras, but they know of him.
Yes.
Yeah. He was my first horse, my endurance horse, and my first guide horse. And he got so accustomed to me sawing that I could stand on the saddle and saw a log above us and have it come down. It would even brush his mane, and he would not move.
That's incredible.
He was an incredible trail horse.
Okay, so let's go outside. I'm not going to put everything back in.
Right, but we can show people how it goes on the...
Yeah. Do you want to take
this? You can tell I get excited about all this stuff.
I know, I do too.
All this stuff tells me trails, and I want to get out on the trails.
You will.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to head out. Hey, Crow. And Crow hasn't had the saw on him, and so we're going to let him smell it. Hi. Now what this does, let me see if I can have you, well, I'm going to move him around so he can be seen. Where is that camera?
I think the camera is right in the corner. Do you want me to hold him in front of the door?
Oh, we're on the arena cam now. I got it. Thank you, James.
It's right over here then.
Yeah, James
is on it.
He's the tech god.
Yeah.
So what
He
this
takes
does,
good care of us.
this goes under your, this is called the fender.
Yeah.
This is the fender of a Western saddle.
Right.
And so this gets tied on your rings wherever you'd like it to be. And then you have access, and you don't get rubbed by it.
And the leather part of the saw is called a scabbard.
Yes.
And they use scabbards for rifles as well.
And this is this. Now, we can't put this on my saddle. You know why?
Because you'll want to go.
No, I do. But no, because
Oh.
my saddle horn is really big. It's a roping saddle.
Yeah.
Not that I'm going to rope, but I like the saddle.
Yeah, it's a nice
And so
saddle.
I had to have my own
Yeah,
one made
I'm
custom
sure.
with a really big
Big
hole in
hole,
it.
right.
But this is pretty much how it goes.
Yeah.
It would go on like this,
Right,
and then you're ready to roll.
right.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, this is very exciting for us. It's like, showing a cat some catnip.
Oh, it is. It's all the little horse things that we
Yes.
just get so excited about. Oh, look at my
Yeah.
new hoof pick. Ooh.
Yeah,
You
time
know.
to go. Time to go out in the back country.
So I don't know, James, if there's any questions or comments. If not, we'll probably sign off for the day.
All right.
Anything going on later today?
I don't think so. We're just watching Harriet, and I have yet to catch her at the river, but I'm trying.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So we do have a question about bees, hornets.
Yes.
Do we carry anything like that?
Yes.
Or
well-
bear spray
well, if-
even.
we
And
do.
there's a reason why you have to be careful
Yeah,
with that.
right. We don't carry bear spray. People think that we should. They say that we should. But the truth of the matter is you're going to have a problem with the horse if you're going to use bear spray.
You sure are. You can't
Yeah.
just spray that anywhere
right.
because if it comes
Right.
back at the horse, think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, you've really got an issue there.
You have a huge issue.
Yeah. So, and the truth of the matter is that bears very, 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 very rarely interrupt horses. I mean, they keep their distance. I've come across bears all over the place, and I've never had an issue with them.
Yes.
Make noise, and that's where these trail dogs are really important. Now, bees are an issue. We do carry antihistamines, and we ask people if they need an EpiPen. If they have one, they need to take it themselves.
Yes.
We cannot administer anything
Ever.
like that. That's not within our purview.
And something about, you can't, anything you spray can get in your horse's eyes and then you've got
That's
a problem. So we have had to, unfortunately, there are hornets' nests in the ground sometimes. And a horse gets stung and they panic.
They
They
do.
can panic and you
right.
just have to deal with it. The
You have
best,
to walk, kind of talk the person through it.
Yes.
And unfortunately, with bees' nests, the guide's horse is almost never the horse that gets it.
yes, that's true.
Because it's the second or third or fourth horse that gets it. Because you stir them up and then they're in fighting mode.
Yes.
3 or 4 horses behind.
And you just-
But I will say we have really good horses that
Really good
calm
horses.
down right away. They really
Yes.
stick with the program.
Yes, their adrenaline
Yeah.
doesn't get the better of them
That's
like
right.
a thoroughbred or a real
Right.
hot-blooded horse would.
They don't lose it altogether. They
And
do
we have good
react.
guides. Yeah, they do react. We have good guides too.
Yeah, we do.
And I think the best thing in a crisis is to get as calm
Yes.
and logical as you can get. There's no
Right.
guide as a guide you can never
And
panic or get emotionally involved, or you just get it done.
the other issue is the horses rely on you every bit as much as the riders do. They feed off your energy. And if you can keep your horse together and your own emotions together, you can deal with anything. And I have another story. I came down the mountain one time with a mountain lion following us the whole way above us.
Oh my
And
God.
horses hate that.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a string of people. But I was able to keep my horse calm and keep myself calm, and everybody fed off the two of us.
Sure.
And when I say everybody, I was more concerned about the horses than I was the people.
Yes.
Because they don't like a predator above them.
That's their worst nightmare.
It's their worst nightmare.
To be jumped on from above.
Right, and they knew that lion was there.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's really important. Finding good guides is really an important part of all of this. Somebody who can keep their cool about them.
Yes.
And just stay seated and stay calm and grounded. And all of those of you who have watched Kelli and Brandon, all of this thing about energy in the round pen, it all comes to a point there. This is where it all is at its most important point, is when you're out there and you have an emergency.
Yes.
Stay grounded and keep your energy down.
Absolutely.
Give your horse confidence.
And it's funny because I've walked out here in the morning and sometimes I'm preoccupied. There goes Harriet. I have a lot of thoughts in my head and I'm thinking about the plans for the day, and prey animals can pick up on that. I mean,
Oh,
thoughts,
immediately.
and I don't mean it in like the voodoo way, but thoughts have energy. If I'm thinking, I'm in my head, and they're like, uh-oh, she's not okay with me right now. But if I'm grounded and just feeling around me with my body, he responds completely differently.
They do. And I will also say that horses have their own emotions. When I was endurance riding, I had a very aggressive horse. This Power was very aggressive. And I always told people, you know, I can ride most of the time. If I'm in a good mood and he's in a bad mood, we'll do fine. If I'm in a bad mood and he's in a good mood, we can still do it. But if we're both in a bad mood, it's an accident looking for a place to happen.
Yes.
It just is.
And it's good to know that.
It's good
and
to
there's
know
no
that.
shame in
And
saying,
turning
you know
around.
what, today's not the day. There's no
Today's not
shame.
the
It's
day.
all about
He's
safety.
hyped up, I'm hyped up, and
And I'm going to get madder, and he's going to
gonna
get
get
madder, and
madder,
he's going to ask me to leave.
that's right. He's
The
going to
saddle.
win.
Yes,
He's going to
they're
win.
always going to win. Always.
That's right.
So James, if we don't have anyone else out there,
yeah.
then we'll. Harriet's stealing hay again, I've been told.
Oh yeah, I've got an ongoing bill. Her invoices climb every year.
Oh, it must be millions of dollars by now.
And those darn sparrows will just take half of it and put it under the nest.
In grates.
Isn't it fabulous?
Isn't it great?
Yeah, it's so much fun to watch all that happen. Yeah. That whole catacomb up there of
The
little birds.
The little condos underneath.
Little condos, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I couldn't be more pleased than to provide Harriet with hay.
Absolutely. It's the least you can do.
The least I can do. She gives me years of pleasure.
Yes. And she brought all of these people to
Oh,
you.
absolutely.
So
She's
that's,
just
you
been
know,
a key-pin of the
So that's a
kingpin.
mixed blessing.
Yep,
Really.
absolutely.
No. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll
Come
see.
back again.
Yes, I'll see you on Sunday, Diva training at 2 o'clock. The last Diva training before the big day, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us. Thanks, Suzanne, for joining me today.
Yeah, oh, I love being out here. This is my environment.
This is your happy
You got me
place.
all psyched up for trail riding.
Oh, good. Soon.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.